Don't you dare forget to do your goddamn dishes while the timer is going. You'll be so glad you did.
Oh, hey slugs. I don't know. What do you want me to call you? We're getting used to each other. Let me know. I had left you on the cliffhanger of part 1, where I made you some walnut shut bread bar crust. You can also make it into any crust that you wanted, as we discussed before. Anyway, that's all prepared, and we're gonna make a pumpkin filling. I kind of wanted to compromise between my craving for a pumpkin cream cheese, like a pumpkin cheesecake, and like a traditional pumpkin pie. So I'm gonna do a creamy pumpkin filling. I've got everything prepared, and I'm just gonna make this as easy and painless on you, and I'm gonna explain the whole process. How does that sound, babe? Let's get started. The first step that we're going to make, we're gonna take our cream cheese and our sugar, and we're gonna beat them together. I wanted to kind of do a little bit of something different. I'm just trying something different, right? Original thoughts, innovate ideas that become things. I wanted to put a little bit of brown sugar with my granny leaf just because I feel like it really encapsulates like a fall flavor, right? So I just layered it in one dish because we think smarter, not harder. And I don't want to clean 2 dishes for sugar. That seems like redundant, right? So we're gonna take our sugar, dump it in. I'm gonna take our cream cheese and dump it. In part 1, we discussed the fact that sometimes things don't go as we planned. Even if this doesn't turn out, I'm still gonna share it because maybe somebody can do something different than me. I think that as a role that I'm taking on to be like a bimbo godmother, you know, a thought mother, if you will, I just want to preach authenticity and willingness to learn and grow. That's how you grow up. I think in all my years of becoming a grown-up, I've realized that I never think I'm gonna be a grown-up, and I'm always gonna be looking for like a smarter person. Oh my God, my aprons, didn't even realize. But you're always gonna look for somebody that knows more than you, and you're gonna slowly over time become that person. Just be willing to grow and adapt. Let's make this creamy and beat it. Hey thought, hoe, bitch, slut, whatever. Not little virgin baby. Little sweet virgin Mary. Let's beat this shit. So we're creaming it, right? So you want to keep it at a steady but high pace, but you want to keep it controlled. Dial it up if you feel comfortable. Side note, what I just created right here can go really nicely on top of like banana bread. It's actually kind of a frosting. To make a frosting, you just whip sugar with dairy, basically. There's different variations. It's not that basic, and you can fuck it up really easy. But try it and just keep going at it, and you'll figure it out. That's also how you make whipped cream, which I will make another video on. You see, this is nice and creamy. We beat the sugar and the cream cheese. I'm gonna add the pumpkin now. Now we're gonna take our pumpkin filling. We're gonna put it in there. If you don't have a rubber spatula, definitely get one. It'll make your life a lot easier for a lot of different things. And you won't scratch the shit out of your pans if you're making chicken Alfredo or something that's saucy, something that you have to do in a pan and have some good batch but stir motion. This is your thing. I feel like as young women, a lot of girls are not taught these type of skills anymore, and I think it's because people became so intense and just like stiff about shit and just didn't allow people to just like do it. And so people just got all like, I don't want to learn things, or maybe people just quit teaching them. But that's why I'm here. I'll teach you whatever you want. I know a lot of dumb and good stuff. Then we're gonna take this. We're also going to add a little bit of heavy whipping cream. This is also how you make whipped cream, if you didn't figure that out. We're just gonna use the cap. We're gonna do that about 3 times. This feels like a tablespoon, you guys. There's just it helps to get measuring tools, but if you don't have them, just like, use your brain and usually it'll go, I think. I don't know. I guess it depends on your brain. But hey, like, we go with it, right? That's what we do around here. We're gonna mix this together. let's move on to the next steps. This next part is super important. If you're gonna be putting something in the oven, baking wise, it's gonna take flour, even if it is like a soft dessert. I prepared my flour. I took 3 tablespoons of it, and my spices, I just put them on top of it because they're going in the same thing. You're gonna use nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves. So your traditional pumpkin pie spices. Now vanilla, it's great. Insects vanilla is great. You know, there's good times for everything. I think that vanilla is misunderstood. It's simple. And I think that sometimes people are afraid of simplicity. So have some vanilla. Also, pro thought mother tip. If you take this, dab it on your pressure points. Dab where you want to be kissed. It's a cheap and natural and sexy scent that you can wear, and it can be our secret. We're gonna stir this in with our nice rubber spatula. It's kind of like you are in a recipe and you hear folding something in. This is what folding something in is. Folding it in. Slop. You guys want to know a secret? I make fetish videos where I would like pour something like this over my head. If you're interested in that, you figure it out. We've just got our flour in there, our spices, nice and slopped up slut. And then the final step is that I have 3 eggs that I had to separate from everything else because I am supposed to pour them over the crust. I haven't personally done this before, but we're just gonna trust the process. So I'm supposed to beat these eggs and then pour them over the crust before I pour all of this delicious filling on top to be baked at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes, depending on oven. Our final step is to beat these little eggies. You can use an egg beater with just one beater. I don't know if you know that. I put them in this little cuppy. Whoop that trick, get 'em, whoop that trick. All right, I'll say them eggs is beat. And we're taking it over the crust that we already made. Walnut shortbread crust is what I made. And I'm gonna just pour it over this. Trusting the process. So I'm gonna just roll this around in the pan. Try to evenly coat it. Okay. This is what it'll look like. From there, you pour your pumpkin filling on it. If your oven is old, probably bump up your time by like 5 minutes, always, just by a rule of thumb. That's so nice and silky and smooth. Honestly, if I'm like rating this on like a scale of like difficulty, I would say maybe like a 3 out of 10. This is not that hard. I've been really spoiled and haven't really had to cook for myself for several years. So I'm like retraining myself. I figured this was a good way to teach myself again and to maybe help other people learn with me. I've got that filling done using my little scraper to get everything out. Now I'm gonna mix this on top of it because it seems like there might be some excess of eggs. I could have probably used 2 instead of the 3 that the recipe called for. But I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this egg in with my topping because we're baking it and it'll just make it even more fluffy. So don't ever worry, you just have to just go with things. When I learned about cognitive dissonance in therapy and about the fact that we're in so much more control of our thoughts than we give ourselves credit for, that's when I truly feel like I started healing from my trauma. The irony of it is I was supposed to do like deep trauma-based therapy, like EMDR and stuff. And I didn't even need it after I discovered true cognitive dissonance and how much I was just enslaved to my thoughts. We can talk more about that another time. If you're curious what that is, Google it. Here is our bars. We're gonna put them in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes at 350. And I'll see you then. And as always, timers. We're gonna go 45 minutes because she was looking juicy. Wish me luck, whore. Well, I took a shower and cleaned my kitchen in the time that it took, and check it out. She set up perfectly. We ended up going 55 minutes at 350. Now it has to cool for 1 hour, and then it goes in the fridge for 4 hours. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to grub out until in the morning, but I'm having pie for breakfast. I'll show you guys the final result in the morning. Sweet dreams.
Approximately 10 hours later.
The outcome of this pie was perfect. Definitely try it and let me know what you think.